Oh,
So,
beautiful people. We're back
I was
again.
playing Terraria because I kind of wanted to try the new endgame because I never actually got to fight the Moon
Did
Lord and
they
whatnot.
they
Oh,
recently
that's
dropped a
good.
new update, right? For new content on there? Well,
Yeah, I was actually
somewhat
waiting for that
recently.
patch, but I was playing Subnautica because I just got it on sale. There's a bunch of games, let's see, that I had just finished. Let's see here. I tried out Once Human for a bit. It's too big a file and the load times are too long for me to enjoy it.
And the load times are so fucking just random. Sometimes I'll teleport from one side of the map to the other and like snap your fingers, and other times I feel like I could go make a whole ass turkey dinner by the time I fucking teleport.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's terrible. Especially when you're trying to go. I do like a detoxidant run because I'm
Mhm.
always running out of fucking healing stims. And so you got to bounce around all of the monoliths because all the monoliths have a single med bag, and then over to each hospital across the map. Sometimes I can do it in like 10 minutes. Most of the time, the servers are having a stroke, and it takes me like an hour and a half. And an hour and 20 minutes of the hour and a half is just load screens.
Yeah.
Evil,
So,
evil game. If they'd fix that, I'd be so much more willing to spend more time playing that game.
gotcha, yeah,
God damn it.
yeah. But yeah, just looking at my history real quick, you can see there's just a bunch of games. So, um,
Yeah, my library looks about the same.
because
It
like
is
I was
anything and
playing a
everything
shitload of
from.
Deadlock when I first got access to it, but now that I have like a bunch of other things that I'm playing, it's way on the back burner.
Dude, I'm the
I have
same way.
I have a friend that's like contemplating going pro in, in Deadlock right now, and and
They're already running fucking. Are these pro teams training for when the game gets full released, or are they
I mean,
actually
there's already
just
tournaments
running
going on.
actual?
Yeah,
Oh wow, that's fucking
but
nuts. You wouldn't expect that
when they
because
first
it's
added
still in beta.
the leaderboards, he was number two, NA for Wraith. So, um,
Jesus.
yeah, he's the one that, or he's my friend that has put out the one of the best Wraith guides on.
Nice.
Which
Uh,
one's Wraith? It's the
Card chick.
uh,
it's the she can go invisible and
Nope.
then throw the stun knife. No,
no,
that's
that's Haze.
Haze. Okay.
The one who can lift you in the air and yeets cards and wears a trench coat on her shoulders.
Yeah, she has the Tommy guns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I was
What is
playing a lot of
Magic
Deadlock.
Craft?
Uh, so do you know what Noida is?
Noida?
Yeah,
It it's
this
it
game.
tickles. Yes. I don't think I own it, but I've watched a
Yeah.
bunch of people play it.
So this is Noida, but um, uh, Binding of Isaac.
Ooh.
So you have the wand crafting system that you'd have in Noida, but it's in a style that is very similar to Binding of Isaac in terms of gameplay. Um, let's see, we got Swapper, which is like a puzzle game similar to Portal, but instead of portals, you swap bodies with a clone. Um,
I've played a very similar game to that.
this is kind of
It
like an
was
idle game.
probably much more indie than that one is. It was terrible, but it was still fun.
Yeah, yeah. So these three are like idle games. I 100%ed both of these, and then this one was really, really short. It took me like less than 20 minutes to finish. Because it's not a
I like idle games far more than I should.
Yeah, dude. Do you
The
remember when
amount of
Cookie
time
Clicker came out?
the amount of time I have playing that fucking paperclip game on Google.
yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? I think it's just paperclip.com or something.
Yeah, I have no. I actually don't know what you're talking about, but yeah.
You guys played Cookie
Um,
Clicker
Is
though, right?
I played the OG Cookie Clicker before they added all the crazy bullshit. So yes, and I
Yeah.
did 100% it. So I did have the Grandmas take over the world.
Hell yeah.
But if you're looking for like a really good like idle game, it should be downloaded still. Where is it? Here it is. Realm Grinder is the best one, uh, hands down. Um,
What do you do in Realm Grind? Here, I'll pull it up.
yeah,
I will.
so
I'll dig into it
yeah, Realm Grinder,
myself.
um, it's kind of like an RPG style one, except you're building your civilization, right? Um, and so like you can play as an elf or a dwarf or a human, an angel, so on and so forth. They have good aligned races, evil aligned races, and neutral aligned races. They also have classes. These things like expand upon themselves quite frequently. And then after certain points in the game, you unlock things that just drastically change how the game is played, and um, it's a fucking crazy ass idle game. Like it's one of the most complicated ones that I've played, and I still haven't even gotten to the parts where it gets even crazier. So the only downside to Realm Grinder is it's kind of a solved game, in the sense like if you're not doing the optimal strats, it's a slog sometimes. Um,
It definitely looks
and
like the most button crammed idle thing I've ever seen.
yeah, there's just a lot to it.
This is fucked.
Hey, I'll be
Um,
right back. I gotta grab another beer.
For sure,
will
brother.
do.
Oh my
Um,
god
I was
damn.
having some nostalgia. I picked up Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. I don't know if you remember that one.
No, do not.
It was supposed to be like an introduction to a new like IP.
Okay.
They were gonna have Sphinx be like the main character that goes through a bunch of different stories, but it never took off. Um, kind of like Tack and the Power of Juju. I don't know.
Yeah, I vaguely
Yeah.
remember that.
Um, it was supposed to be kind of like that, but it just didn't take off at all. So,
Gotcha.
uh, game has some clunky mechanics, but it's a clever game, so it's fun. Um, oh yeah, I recently played through Blasphemous 1. Uh, that was pretty fun.
Oh my god.
I still need to beat Fear and Hunger. You
I don't
ever?
I don't think I've played that one either.
Um, it is an extremely brutal game, um, full of not so pretty things. Lots of dicks and naked people.
Gotcha.
Um, but in the sense of like dark fantasy. Um, so it's not pretty.
Gotcha.
But it's like heavily inspired by Berserk, and there's
Oh
other.
man, dude. I really enjoyed Berserk up to a certain point, and then I completely abandoned it. I yeah, I do not ever recommend Berserk. God, my game is
Uh,
fucked.
did you like finish the Golden Age arc, and that's where you kind of quit, or
Um,
because that's
y-
usually where a lot of people quit?
yeah, I quit after
The Eclipse.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Most people quit during the Eclipse.
I was like, okay, this show, yeah,
Were you watching the show or the reading the manga?
the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, the original '90s show or '80s like show that actually ends at the eclipse. Like they didn't continue it on after that. So um, the manga goes much further. Um, and then they tried to bring back the show with like the shitty 3D animation, and it was bad, and everybody hated it.
Gotcha.
I will say the story, even though it's it's so grisly at that point in where you stopped. I understand why you can never recommend it. It does get better.
Yeah.
Like the story and the narrative uh, really tries to like uh how do I sorry, I'm trying to
Oh,
force
you're all
words.
good.
Like they really take the time to try and show the trauma that these characters have gone through, and then
Yeah.
how they're like coping, and then
Mhm.
how they've overcome it.
Mhm.
And the story is very beautiful in that sense.
Yeah, and that I
And
can
there's
see how
also
that.
still a bunch of fucked up things that happen in the story, but
Yeah.
um, like the traumas that all these characters share together uh, end up forming really like strong bonds between the characters.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, and I'm not saying like it's necessarily bad to have negative things in media. Like some of my favorite animes, there's some really big trauma. Like Full Metal
Yeah,
Alchemist is a perfect example of that. Brotherhood has a lot of characters with a lot of trauma.
yeah.
I
Literally, the
cried
show starts.
several times in
The
Yeah.
show starts
Full
with
Metal.
massive trauma.
Yeah. That show definitely made me cry. And even Gurren Lagann, like, it's a very silly show, but still, episode 7, man. Episode 7 fucking sticks with you.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I mean, even like the initial concept of the story, it's pretty fucked.
Yeah.
Um, and then once you make it halfway through and you understand why things were done, but did they need to be done that way to make it that impressive for the
Yeah.
yeah, it's an interesting. There's like a lot of interesting morals that it broaches a little bit.
Yeah, really
Um,
interesting show in general.
uh, yeah, Fear and Hunger, just really
Bro,
great
what the
character writing for all
fuck?
these characters. The gameplay is also really interesting, where it makes you feel like it's a like an RPG, like an old school like JRPG, where you like if you run into a monster,
Yeah.
the monster like the random encounters or whatever, and you have to fight through the encounters. But then the game like throws you for a loop because there's ways to interact with the mobs before you actually enter combat.
Oh, that's cool.
Um, and there's a lot of unique things there, and uh, that's what actually hooked me on the game. But it's really hard, and it's very time consuming. Um, but it has a lot of depth to it, and I have only scratched the surface myself. I've had a lot of the game spoiled for me, unfortunately.
I hate that.
But what I've had spoiled for me actually sold me on the game even more, which is why I bought it.
Fair enough.
I want to support the dev. Um, uh, and that's like Fear and Hunger is actually how I found Void Stranger, the puzzle game I keep recommending everybody play. Uh, but this one I actually went into blind, and that's how I got to appreciate it a lot.
How
It's
much is
definitely
Void Stranger?
it's like $5-6, I think. It's hella cheap. Uh, oh, sorry, $12.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
$12, and I got 100 hours out of it. It's pretty fucking good, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not like 100 hours to complete. That's because I spent the time to do all that.
Yeah, dude, another game like that is FTL. I spent a couple bucks on FTL and I
Yeah.
played through it so goddamn much.
Let's see here. What else have I been playing?
Bro, I don't
Uh,
understand. This quest says that this guy's in the slag heap, but like, where?
oh yeah, I was playing All Was Awakening. It's like it's like a Super Nintendo-esque 2D side scroller. like platformer. It's interesting. Um, it's a modern NES game actually. They actually made a physical copy for the NES, similar to there was another game that did that.
Привіт! Щасти!
Oh shit, what's it called?
Bro.
My friend let me borrow it one time, and I thought it was a really fucking cool game. It was really hard. um,
Не бздим, народ! Раніше били їх якось і тепер розкидаємо. Головне разом триматися.
З часом звикнеш. Я його вже майже не пам'ятаю.
Are my drivers out of date? Like, what the fuck is this?
I'm just blanking on the name. I won't keep looking. But it's like a Mega Man-esque game. Really, really punishing level design. Very fun though. Yeah. Oh, I've also been playing a lot of Outer Wilds recently. Super, super fun. If you like exploring space, super fun to do that.
Do love exploring space.
It has like a bunch of planets with their own uniqueness to them, and you gotta like
Yeah.
suss it out over time. And the game features a time loop. That's about all I can really say without spoiling the game.
Okay.
And so you get to figure out how all these planets work over the course of the time loop that you're locked in. And it's just a good time. It's a feels good game.
Hell yeah.
Just like you feel good as you like learn the mechanics, and then you like feel good as you're like discovering things because it gets really interesting, and then it also feels good to like to have like a mastery over the mechanics of the game. Once you like develop all of the knowledge base required for all the things, it's very satisfying.
Yeah, I love a game where like mastery feels great.
Yeah, because like just movement in the game is like it's 0G movement a lot of the time, and so
Oh, that's fun.
like getting used to that is like is a skill, and then once you get used, or once you can like really utilize the skill and like you can slingshot yourself and stuff, it's so satisfying once you can do that
Yeah.
mechanically. Because like I've had a moment where my ship got stuck on another planet, but the planet was very nearby. Because it's like these planets are like twin planets that rotate around each other.
Okay.
And my ship got stuck on the other planet because of a certain mechanic. And so I had to figure out how to get to my ship so I could continue doing the thing I was doing. And so what I ended up doing is I like boosted myself and just kept boosting and using the gravity of the planet to spin me so that I can eventually slingshot myself onto the other planet. Downside was I took a shitload of damage afterwards because
Oh no.
it's a lot of velocity.
Yeah.
Like implementing a thing and then doing it, and I was like, damn, I actually landed it.
Yeah, like I pulled it off. That
Shit was
reminds
super
me.
fucking hard to do, and it took too much time out of the loop, so like I ended up not doing everything I wanted to do, but I did clean up the last bit that I wanted to do in that run before the
Fuck
the time
yeah.
loop reset.
That.
Night.
What?
So I'm gonna head off for the night.
All right, Joe.
Have a good night.
So nice to
Have a
see
good
you.
night, Joe.
I'm probably not far behind you, actually. My game is running like crap, and I can't figure out where the hell this guy is. It's okay.
Я сам не по цицьках, але є
Good night,
Good night,
Joe.
Joe. Talk to you later.
Домов.
A sapphire artifact? What the fuck? How is this guy always giving me jobs for shit I've never heard of when I have like all the artifacts in the world?
The dilemma.
I wonder if the game specifically tries to grab ones that you don't already have on hand. Cause like,
Maybe.
maybe I do have sapphire ones. No, I feel like I would recognize the name. Oh my god, why is my game running like crap today?
Oh yeah, I completely forgot. Ashes of Creations having their beta 2, or like the beta 2 on the 20th. So, or alpha 2 stuff. What was it?
Damn.
Second wave of alpha 2 happens on the 20th. So, we'll probably be playing that next week.
Nice.
Very excited about that one. I've been fucking following Ashes of Creation's development for almost 7-8 years now. So
Yeah, it's like me with Stalker. Oh my god, dude, hype. I'm happy for you. I cannot figure out why my game is running like absolute garbage right now. I even tweaked a bunch of settings down and it didn't really help.